Hello everybody, and welcome back to my review of What We Do in the Shadows Season 2. This one's Episode 9, and it's called Witches. I believe we are on the final few episodes of the season. Oh, I'm sad, because this has been really good. But just like the first season, it's been really good. So, hopefully, it won't take it. I'm hoping it doesn't take as long for it to come back out again, but who knows with all the stuff's going on in the world. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So, we start off, as always, in the vampire residence, and they're calling for a house meeting. And he's looking for Laszlo, but Laszlo's outside pruning his trees, and he wants Nadja to go out and get him, and he's like, no. He's like, get Guillermo to do it. But no, Guillermo is not doing it, because Guillermo now is on his 15-minute break. He gets 2 15-minute breaks and 1 day off a week. Well, a 15-minute break every 4 hours, so good for him. And he basically talks about how he's starting to think maybe this was a dead-end job for him. You know, he wants to be a vampire, but he doesn't know if he's ever going to become one. You know, but he does have an idea for a really cool product. And he's taking those Tide pins that he was using to get rid of the blood and put it in a deodorant, I guess, container. It's called Heavy Duty Blood Remover. Gets rid of stains quick. So, maybe have a business on the side there. I'm not sure who's going to use it. Maybe assassins, maybe killers. I don't know. So anyways, we head over to Laszlo. He's out in the bushes pruning them, taking all the apples off, because apparently all the apples taste like crap to him now because he's a vampire. And he hears his voice being called, and as he was looking around, he comes across a goat. Yeah, there's a goat in his garden, and it's not just any goat, it's a witch goat, because all of a sudden this kind of like weird glow-in-the-dark smoke surrounds him, and all of a sudden he's off into the sky, flying away. Where is he going? Don't know. So Nadja, Nandor, and Colin come out to look for him. And apparently, anything bad that happens, Nadja thinks there's witches. For instance, the light bulb goes out, witches. Crumpled carpet, witches. So apparently she has this witch phobia, witch problem. I don't know, but it's not good. So as they're outside, they decide to start looking for Laszlo, because we're also going to look. I mean, he was right there. So they start looking around, and Nandor sees the goat, the witch goat. So of course he goes up to it, and he gets the same glowy goop stuff that surrounded Laszlo, and off he goes in the sky. But this time you can see the witches flying. There's 4 witches hanging out there, which is really cool looking. So they have to go after him. So we have a witch chase in a car. That's Guillermo is driving, because no one else can drive. Strange, but no one else can drive. So they are chasing the witches. It's a witch chase. A car chase, a witch chase. And there, you can see him in the sky floating around there, and it's kind of funny with Nandor just following right behind him. It's kind of funny looking. So they end up in a place called Satchel Serafina. They think that's where the witches are, and that's where they took Laszlo and Nandor. So they send in Guillermo, because they won't sense Guillermo, apparently. So as they're outside watching him, they hear that strangely familiar sound. As they turn around, it's the witch goat. And of course, the strange goop, smoke stuff gets all around them, and they're gone too. So apparently the witch inside already knew who they were, and basically tells, follow me, bring your cameraman with you. Get him was like giving him one of those awesome faces. So we find our embattled vampires strapped to 2 slabs of concrete, it looks like. Nandor and Laszlo are sitting there with the fire there, and the witch is all around them. And as we make our way in, we meet the head, witch Lilith. Now, if all witches look like this, sign me up to get kidnapped by witches, because holy crap, these are the hottest witches I've ever seen. So, yeah. So anyways, Guillermo gets taken to a room, plopped in a room where there's Colin and there's Nadja. They get dropped in there too. So it's a room of doors. As you can see, it looks very Harry Potterish. All sorts of stuff, doors all over the place. And it's like, I'm guessing they all lead somewhere, because Colin opens one up and there's like a fiery hellscape, kind of looks like a tornado of fire coming out. I'm just like, well, obviously not that door. So they're stuck in this room. So we go back and we see the witches starting their ritual with Nandor and Laszlo stuck on those tables. Come to find out, they need their semen. And I think Laszlo and Nandor seem to really enjoy that idea. They're like, okay, this is a ritual we can get behind. So back in the room, they're still chesting doors out. He pulls one door up from the ground, and some kind of like blizzard comes through it. Another one he opens up, and some weird old lady turns all sorts of contortionist-wise backwards and arms this way and that way. That's really creepy, so that's not the door. And he tries another door where it goes from one side, there's this little hallway that ends up right back in the same spot. And so he's basically saying how smart he is, that he can figure this out. He's going to figure it out because it's Colin after all. Colin knows everything. So we head back to where our vampire duo are stuck, and they seem to be enjoying themselves quite a bit. I mean, who wouldn't? There's hot vampire witches all over them. So yeah, that works out. Laszlo's very happy with this whole situation until they show the tools that they're going to use to extract the semen. And pretty much they decide, yeah, this isn't going to work for us. So they're hollering for Nadja to get here a little bit quicker because, good Lord, I got the shivers when I saw those tools. Oh, good Lord. And even Nandor's like, no. But it's too late because they are fully engorged. They're ready to go, apparently. So, yeah, that's not a good situation for them. And all of a sudden, the head witch, Lilith, decides to show what her true form looks like. She goes from super hot witch to very old witch. Still kind of all right looking witch. Hey, if you're into that, it's all good. MILF, if you will. So I think Nandor said something like that. MILFs, that works. So back in the room, Guillermo finds the way out. And Colin's like, how did you do that? Well, the door says salida, which means exit in Spanish. And basically Colin's like, I could have figured that out. But Guillermo's the one who figured it out. So they find their way to the room, and Nadja is appalled by what's going on with all the hot witches around them. But none too soon, because they're about to use those tools, which, good Lord, I just still gives me shivers thinking about it. So of course, Colin comes out saying that he's the one who figured it out. He's the one who got his way. And then Guillermo's like, wait a minute, I'm the one who did it. And the witch is like, well, you're very smart. He's like, yeah, I'm very smart. So we'll extract your semen too with those tools. So poor Nadja's right in the middle of all in a conversation about extracting semen. Yeah, she's not enjoying herself too much. So they strap Colin to a slab to extract his semen. So I'm not sure if he's enjoying it or not. I don't know. Colin doesn't have that look on his face, so I don't know. So before Nadja can do anything, she gets shoved up into the sky, up into the roof, and pinned to the roof somehow. How did that happen? Well, it was Lilith. Man, they're powerful. Witches are powerful. And she had shot her up there. Now, we've come to find out that Lilith and Nadja were apparently best of buddies back in the day. That Lilith had her own womanly shop that she sold all sorts of stuff to people. But it was a front to extract semen from the most potent of men, I guess. So that's what it was. Until they had a falling out. Now, what was a falling out? Surprise, surprise, Laszlo slept with her. Well, Laszlo's excuse was she used her witch charms and turned herself into looking just like Nadja. So she decides to show an example of what she looked like. So that goobly gook smoke stuff pops up and she turns into Nadja. Not so much though. That doesn't look like Nadja. Nadja's like, that doesn't even look like me. And Laszlo's like, I can't even tell. I mean, I don't know who's who right now. So she's like, well, speak like me, and she speaks like it doesn't even sound like Nadja. Meanwhile, Guillermo's in the back laughing. So they ask Colin and the Nandor, and they're both like, they look exactly alike, which they don't. So Nadja's like, so you're gonna sleep with anybody with long black hair and or dark hair and an accent? So she asks, so did you sleep with Nandor? And Nandor's looking over and looking. It's like, so apparently Laszlo slept with Nandor or had sex with him or whatever, which is just really strange. So they get ready to start the ritual again. I guess Nadja's like had enough. It's like, fine, go ahead. And Guillermo steps up and he has an idea. Guillermo basically comes up with the idea of like, look, I can give you unlimited semen. You don't have to go running around looking for it. If you just let him go. And I promise you I'll give you unlimited semen, and you'll never have to go around looking for it, and it's as long as I get 50% of that profit. And so they're like, okay, deal. So what Guillermo did was saying he's going to take their semen, because apparently there's plenty of it, and jar it and give it to them for again 50% profit, and it was a deal. They don't have to go looking for it anymore. So, which is fantastic. And he even offered Colin Robinson, and they said no. Poor Colin Robinson. So they head on back, and their house is a wreck. Come to find out, the goat was in the house, destroying the whole house. Why, I don't know. Guess he's a goat. He even messed up Nadja doll, which really pissed off Nadja. I mean, Nadja doll, man. Come on. It's Nadja doll. And they still don't know that she can talk, apparently. At least I know Colin does, but the other two don't. So later on, Laszlo comes across Nandor, and they're still saluting. And Nandor comes up with the idea. It's like, look, if we can finish each other off, and as long as no one else knows, we just don't tell anybody. And Laszlo agrees to the idea. So that's strange. Okay. So we see Guillermo now delivering the jars, literal mason jars of semen to the witches. It's like, good Lord, how much semen do these guys have? And I can't believe how much I'm saying semen. I don't think I've ever was going to imagine doing a video saying it's semen this many times. So so he's delivering that. And then he goes outside and starts talking to the goat, which his name, by the way, his name is, I guess, Black Peter, I think his name is. And it's strange. The goat is very similar to Guillermo. He thinks eventually he's going to turn to a witch. They're going to love out, and Guillermo's like thinking the same thing, but it's not going to happen. So, and that's where the episode ends. So, what did I think of the episode? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really funny. It was a strange episode, to say the least, about semen, vampire semen. Okay, and Colin trying to be super smart and wanting to be part of the whole Take My Semen group. Again, I'm seeing semen so much. And it was a fun episode. It was really funny, and it's just all the little things that they showed here and there about. Again, it opens up the world a little bit more. Now you're hearing about witches. Like the last episode, we saw about trolls. And you see more and more stuff that's really just opening this world of vampires up, which is really cool, I think. And you know what? I don't think this season we saw werewolves. I don't think so. Oh, that's very strange. I mean, we've seen zombies, we've seen trolls, now we've seen witches. So, very strange. So, so that's what I think. I think this episode was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think all the characters, once again, were fantastic. I enjoyed the witches. I'm hoping to see more witches in the future, because we all know it got renewed for a third season. Hooray! So, there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe so you continue on watching my reviews of what we do in the shadows. I hope everybody's doing well out there and is safe. Thanks again, and I'll see you all around. Bye-bye.